Hello and welcome back to our Skyrim playthrough using the trailer setup. I did quite a bit of leveling up. You can see right now our level is 24. The levels I've chose for that is Alchemy at level 70, or actually I put it up to 60 to get the last perk in here that I want, the Alchemist perk. And then I just sort of made a bunch of supplies and that automatically got up to 69. For enchanting, actually, for smithing, I decided on 61. There is some weird math. Math. In the Elder Scrolls, unofficial Elder Scrolls pages that tells you how smithing works. And using that formula and my enchanting and alchemy, I decided that level 61 gives me a good level. Because at that point, you pretty much level up your gear every like 2 or 3 levels. And I just decided 61 is a good balance between number and improvement. For enchanting, I decided level 60. You heard me talk about the efficiency perk limit a few times in this playthrough. What I mean by that is this enchanter perk, you can get another rank in this every 20 levels. And over here, this perk, it's important for your skill enchants, and it comes in at level 50. So if you grab every single perk, then your enchants will be strongest per level at level 60, because at 40 you grab enchanter, at level 50 you grab this one, at 60 you cycle back here. So over the course of 20 levels you gain 3 perks as opposed to 2 if you keep on going up every 20, like just off of enchanter. The same principle applies to alchemy, except alchemy perks max out at level 40 with a level 30 perk over here, the benefactor perk. But alchemy is sort of a heavily used skill in our build, so I decided that I want the level 60 perk, so I got it up to 60. This will naturally progress towards 100 because we can't really play this build without any supplies. Now, in terms of enchants, what I decided for my armor is all of this is fully enchanted now. You can see I decided one-handed enchants for my boots and gloves of 34%, and I didn't put anything on the helmet because I couldn't find anything good. I made another set of studded armor and put 42 points of health on there. I don't really like the light armor as much because I feel like since we're so low on armor, it's better to have health. The way the armor works over here, the closer you are to the armor cap, the more effective your armor is, and we're nowhere near that. Even with Lordstone, I think we're running something like it's 174 armor rating, so I think about 30% magic or damage mitigation. Anyways, what I also like to show is our weapon damage. Steel swords right now do 100 damage. Before all of the improvements, because we leveled up naturally our one-handed a bit, it was dealing around 30 damage, and that was what I had to do to collect my Grand Souls. I bought mostly Grand Soul gems that are filled from the Khajiits, because they tend to stock a lot of those. And also, if you buy all of your soul gems from the same source, you can sell them one single stack of potions. These potions that I make for training alchemy, I can use these to pay off the soul gems. If you think about the college stores, then you can't really pay them with the potions. And also, if you buy like 3 grand soul gems that are filled, you can sell a single stack of these and you'll only gain speech experience for one of these potions instead of the whole stack. So that also aligns with keeping our levels low in total. Choosing around a level 60 marks for all of our crafting skills, that sort of keeps our skills low, and also the best power you can get out of cycling the 3 skills is keeping them all sort of even, as opposed to bringing one level to 100 and having the rest much lower, because levels that are lower tend to level up your total level less than levels that are higher. Anyways, so the first thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to demonstrate a mammoth clear. This is going to be a lot simpler than when I used to do it, because right now my weapon does 100 damage as opposed to 30. So just keep that in mind. Mammoth is by no means a walk in the park to clear, so you can sort of imagine what I went through to craft this gear. It is of course possible. I mean, what you would do is you use Elemental Fury and then you swap out a soul trap weapon at the last second. But you can see just how much damage the mammoth does to us. I still have to probably pot, yeah, I have to pot here. Although now that I've killed it, you can sort of see that I didn't need to pot. Anyways, so that's a mammoth clear that I wanted to demonstrate. The other thing I'm going to do is demonstrate a few of the other enemies that we might be up against. dwarven centurions are one, dragons are another. Dragons we'll get to see in the main story, but the last time we fought a dwarven centurion, we just sort of backed off because fighting it would have taken too much supplies. But right now we're going to do the dwarven centurion. What we're going to do is the lexicon quest that you get in Riften. I think this has been patched by a unofficial Elder Scrolls patch or a Skyrim patch, but if you're just running the official patches up to 1.9, then you won't have this. This is of course saying the old Skyrim. This is not remastered or whatever they call it nowadays. But yeah, the lexicon quest is bugged in that it makes your smithing stronger when it's supposed to give you more armor if you wear a full set of dwarven armor. So technically using this quest maxes out your damage or your smithing, your damage output through smithing, and also your defenses as well. So you start this quest by talking to Fathoms.
You must bring it to Ramonshunzel in the west. Return it to them. It must go back.
And now we get our quest marker for Unfathomable Depth. This quest is also a good place to gain a lot of useful supplies. If you're after maxing out enchanting, you'll want to pay this place a collecting because it has lots of soul gems, because it is a dwarven place. It also has a lot of centurions, centurion masters, so it's a good sort of grant soul gems if you're missing those as well. We're just here for a demonstration because we can't really, like, we're not gonna reforge our gear. Now this is going to be hard to clear before you sort of do this thing I did with the gear. I would not clear this place with a level 30 weapon or a 30 damage weapon. It just feels a little too hard. I don't think the centurions go away, or the centurion masters. Okay, got rid of that. And since we're finished our build, we don't actually need any we don't need to collect any drops. Now, in terms of builds, there is one different build I can do. You can see right now we're capped at level 25 right now. I don't think we have. I think that was a level up to 26, right? No, that's 24 to 25, which keeps the dragons at blood dragons at the dragon layers. The other build I can think of involves level 31, and that'll keep it at frost dragons. Being a Nord, you'll have a lot of defense against frost. So Frost Dragons is not exactly a complete buff to the dragons. You'll be taking less magic damage half the time, and for physical damage you'll be taking a little bit more. But 31 does give us a little bit more health to work with, so I don't know, make your choices I guess. The good thing about the level 31 build is it does provide you immunity to the disarm shouts used by Draugr bosses. So if you want immunity to that, then you probably want level 31. I'm just going to cap my level down here. I'm not going to level up anymore unless I get to level 80 one-handed, at which point I'll pick up the perk to get more damage. I don't know why I'm not using the shout here, the Elemental Fury shouts. But yeah, that's basically the two things that I'm considering for my builds. Level 31 build, and if you follow exactly what I'm doing, or sort of what I'm doing, you can sort of run this build and cap everything at blood dragons. Let's not jump down the cliff. That's not fun. Okay, I got rid of that. I don't think there's any more spiders. We already made the obligatory SpongeBob spider reference in the previous video, so there's no need to do that anymore.
Why are all these metal things ignoring us?
Is there one that's alive? Nope. I don't think this place respawns, so you can't exactly use it to farm dwarven stuff and soul gems over and over again. I think most dwarven stuff don't respawn. Calcelmo's thing does, but I think all the things related to the main storyline and also this one, it doesn't respawn. But then again, I never really farmed the dwarven stuff. By the time I actually realized how plentiful dwarven stuff is and how good for training it is, I've already finished my main playthrough. And then I'm sort of like used to leveling up smithing now. If you think about how strong these guys are, the dwarven enemies, you can sort of tell you can't come here without being already somewhat maxed. And I like to bank my EXP and sort of offload it to the end, just so I can have one burst of leveling. You can tell that we sort of leveled from I think around 11, 12 all the way up to 25. Or I think we were sitting around 15 before, because I remember we were getting close to the dragon magic number. But yeah, I like to offload my EXP till the end, so I tend not to get a chance to clear any dwarven stuff in regular playthroughs. There's a lot of dwarven stuff on these shelves that you can collect. I have not used that shout a single time since I got here. And that reminds me of a portal turret for some reason. Did I mark the correct quests? Yep. Ah, stupid. Also clearing dwarven dungeons tends to make you look like a stupid idiot on camera because, floor traps. They're the only thing that can do a decent amount of damage to a max build. Like, I have decent attack speed and also really high damage, which is a bad combination for us. I didn't know the NPCs could miss that.
I thought you said these things were sleeping.
You said they were sleeping. I said they were waiting.
Now, where's the row of traps? I remember there being a row of traps down some stairs. But yeah, you can see this place. Down there are 2 centurions that are dead. They're not going to awaken and attack you. At the end, there's also one. So there's a lot of grand soul gems in this place if you're after that. We're gonna do elemental fury because there's a lot of spiders here. Yeah, I should get rid of all of those pretty quickly and efficiently. These do have standard drops for Centurion, so Dynamo Cores if you're after Daedric, and Grand Soul Gems. I honestly am not a fan of Daedric, because Daedric is being heavy armor. It's supposed to give you an advantage in defense over light, but it's relatively easy to hit the armor cap with light as well. So unless you're sort of limiting your build somehow, there's no point in choosing heavy over light.
We shouldn't be here. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that's why I don't like Daedric. And if you're talking about the level 90 smithing range, then I tend to go from level 70 all the way to 100 by improving dwarven bows. So there really is no difference between Daedric and Dragon for weapons. And also armor as well. It's just Dragon scale light is better than Daedric because it is light armor as opposed to heavy. Oh, spider leg glitched out. Not shutting up.
Almost there. I can hear the lexicon. Come on, quickly.
Okay, so this is the floor trap. I'm gonna get Ethereal ready, just because I might trip that off, or something might trip that off. Okay, so this is the final part of the battle. There's going to be 2 Centurions, but only one is going to be active. You can see the other one's on the floor. So we'll see how well we handle this as an endgame damage test. Wow, it didn't even get a single hit on us. We just kill cammed it. That's sort of the good thing about one, like having one enemy. Anyways, we're gonna put this back. Even though we can improve our weapon further now, I'm not going to recraft my gear. Another thing that I want to mention is, I guess we can take a look at our potions and how much they've improved since we leveled up our gear. Number 1, paralysis poison right now. paralyzes for 17 seconds, and given our damage output, I can safely say this is going to take an enemy out of the battle for the majority of it. Health potions are up to 133 restores, and the anti-dragon potion does 65% resist. So if you use this against a dragon, you're essentially running max build in terms of magic defense. Because at least for my max builds, I don't tend to go for elemental resist. Just stacking max magic resist is more than enough for like any build. Because even with like quote unquote max builds, unless you're doing everything, you shouldn't be getting legendary dragons. Like revered dragons is sort of a bad build. You shouldn't have to deal with legendary dragons. And even legendary dragons, I don't know if it's good to... Like, I don't know if you need to stack elemental resist as well as magic resist. I think that's where we came in, right? Yeah, this looks like where we came in. The last thing I want to show is a battle at the house. There's been a couple of bandits that's just been pissing me off while I've been trying to up my gear, and I want to kill them on camera for some reason. If you don't want to see me kill a bunch of stupid idiots, then feel free to end the video here. Although I probably should have gave that warning in previous videos when I just went on to do a bunch of lore shit. Or like, story mode shit. I did do a season and ending off camera, by the way, because it's just a bunch of talking. In terms of the main quest line, we're up to the Fallen, where we have to quote unquote fight Odahviing at Whiterun. So yeah. Let's go and finally beat down our friends. Because there's a bandit chief there, which I guess is also something that we can demo. We'll use one on this. So just feel like that did a lot of damage. Okay, we took out the trash. I'm satisfied with the progress in this video, so I'm gonna end it here.